Spring break is just around the corner for many college students. In fact, ASU and U of A, it starts next week. Many of them will head to Rocky Point or Cancun to soak up the sun and fun. But traveling to a foreign country always poses a risk. A few weeks ago, we reported of a deadly shooting at a club in Cancun. 5 people were killed. Now, as you know, when you cross that border, the rights you have here in the United States don't apply. So in order to help you navigate foreign places, we brought in the experts this morning. What's the saying? There's an app for that. It's called the GrinGo App. And creator Brian Krupski and former FBI agent Arturo Fontes, they're here to talk about how this can help you keep your trip on track. First and foremost, thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming in. You got this idea to launch this app after years of traveling to Mexico for both work and play, including when you worked for former Arizona Governor Janet Napolitano.
Correct, Javier. And one of the things over the last couple of years is always get asked the question, no matter how much fun it seems like I'm having in Mexico and so forth, is it safe? And that's a question that really expands a little bit beyond different areas. There's a lot of risks and vulnerabilities that people have when they leave their home country. And so, it poses a lot of risk to breaking local laws or, how do you access certain resources, like in cases of emergency and so forth. So got this idea to really kind of create an app that's cool, but it's also gives you really easy access to these valuable resources that really give you that peace of mind when you are in a foreign country.
And somebody from an FBI standpoint, you've seen the worst of the worst. Can you answer that question? Is it safe?
Yes, I've worked several years in Mexico. I did 2 tours in Mexico. I worked on 2 sides of the border, San Diego, Tijuana, and also Nuevo Laredo, Tamaulipas. And I can tell you that Mexico is a large country, 140 million people plus, and Puerto Peñasco is a pocket, and there's a very minimal cartel violence. It's not a battleground area. There's very little or none incidents of kidnappings there. The most incidents of a spring breaker would be mostly drugs and being caught at the wrong place, maybe having drugs in their possession, maybe drinking alcohol that's altered. Those are the biggest risks right now. The real thing with spring breakers is just to be prudent. And if you're females, always travel with a friend. Whether you go into the ATM machine, problems like skimming your credit card at a restaurant, taking a taxi, making sure you take a taxi at a outside the hotel.
You just got to be very careful.
Yes.
Those are the important things that, we can rest easy. We can go out there, have a good time, and not worry necessarily about the violence. But your app does way more than that. I mean, other than booking rooms, booking rental cars, it allows you to kind of navigate the system in case you get in any trouble.
Oh, absolutely, and that's correct. I mean, everything from roadside assistance, which is a key thing. There's a feature there that has a direct feed from the Department of Homeland Security with border wait times, which is a great info when you are checking out of Mexico and you have driven there, to Mexico insurance, to accessing various resources of legal aid in case something does happen where you do break the law. And a lot of times you're going to make a mental mistake where maybe it's okay on this side of the border, but you go across, like for example, the gun laws here are so loose. Sometimes you forget that you have your gun in your hiking bag in your trunk. You cross the border. That is now a felony, and so that can get you in a lot of trouble. And then it goes beyond to that with into medical access to doctors that do speak English. There's a recent cruise ship that had booted an elderly couple in the Costa Maya who had a stomach ulcer, and they got off the ship because they couldn't treat them there, but they didn't really know how to access valuable doctors in that area or hospitals, so they kind of went back to New Jersey on a flight from Cancun. So,
let me ask you, Mr. Fontes, if you do encounter police officers out there, what's your first line of course?
Your first line is to be respectful, to look them in the eye and just be, just answer the questions that they are and be respectful.
All right, well, you just launched the app. So it's ready to go. So parents out there, we encourage you to download this app. There's a wealth of information. Even before you go, you should make yourself familiar with this.
Yeah, definitely recommend everybody to go to gringoapp.com. There's a direct link right there on the website that'll guide you to the access to the downloading the app on a lot of the platforms. And most importantly, Mexico's a great place to visit. a lot of exciting places from zip lining to cave diving, down to a lot of great new beach clubs, Manny's Beach Club in Rocky Point, down to Omnia's Beach Club in Los Cabos that's celebrating 1 year anniversary. A lot of great places to explore and have a great time, but just be safe, be aware of your surroundings, and it'll be a great experience down in for your spring break.
Awesome. And thank you very much, gentlemen, for
Thank you, sir.
coming in, and thank you for this app. Of course, we'll put all the information on our website, azfamily.com. We'll be right back.